What's up guys, Jake here, JakesGotHerps, not to be confused with herpes. Herpes is nasty. And in this video I'm showing you guys my boa Reggie here. He's just chilling. And you're probably wondering why he's in this cage. Now this is the cage that I initially got the yellow anacondas in. Now I have them in these little tubs, and as you can see I'm at home right now. Instead of having a bunch of different aquariums all over the place, I actually just brought the tubs from the rack itself home, which is really nice. Don't have to bring a bunch of aquariums back and forth, just some tubs, which is cool. But you're probably wondering why he's in here, because if you look at him, he's a pretty good sized boa. In this cage, although it's not as small as I initially thought it would be for him, it's still not the largest enclosure by any means. There's really not much room for a hide, or just a hide, a water bowl, and him, really. I mean, that's all that it really fits. But I decided to call this cage Alcatraz because I know it's a cage that he can't escape from, which brings me to my topic for this video, which is when your reptiles escape. Now, I didn't mention this to anybody until I actually found him, but Reggie actually escaped for almost a month. Like, it was probably 3 weeks going on 4 weeks that he was out. And the reason he got out was because he just decided to push the doors off of his boa master cage, which I find quite ironic because it's called a boa master cage and it can't contain a boa, at least not mine anyway. So he's in this cage. I really highly doubt he could get out of this thing. This thing is tough. It's just tough to slide these doors, let alone push them out, like what Reggie did. But yeah, so I was really disappointed with that, and I was really upset with myself for more or less just making the purchase. I know it's not really my fault that he got out of it. I couldn't have known, but I was still upset about it regardless. And so I wanted to talk to you guys about when your reptiles escape, because this happens to pretty much everybody. I mean, I know there's obviously some people who hasn't happened to, but everyone does it, even the best of us. Brian Barczyk told a story once on Snake Bites about the pinstripe ball python. The first pinstripe, he was getting ready to pair it with some females, and he left the tub open, and it actually escaped. And luckily he found it, shortly after. But it just goes to show you that it can happen to everybody, and it's happened to me a lot of times. Like, hopefully I just get all of your guys' escapes, you know what I mean? Like, and you guys don't have to deal with it, because it happens to me a lot. My carpet python's escaped several times from her cage, which is why you see I usually put some duct tape or something on the glass, because she can push through that quite easily. And Reggie escaped. Actually, Jerry, my first reptile I ever had, he escaped in my apartment that I lived in a very long time ago, like 8 years ago. He escaped from there for like 3 weeks, and we did eventually find him. And that's sort of what you have to do when a reptile escapes. You have to keep looking and don't give up right away, because reptiles are extremely hardy. And I want to make a quick note here, is that I'm not implying that they're really hardy as in, if you let them go in the wild, that they would just survive and reproduce. Obviously with the Lacey Act, that's what they're implying, that if we let go of our retics in Michigan, they'll all survive and reproduce there, which is completely ridiculous. But I just figured I'd throw that in there. Obviously he wouldn't survive 10 minutes outside in this negative 20-degree weather, but in a house, the house will be cooler, so he probably won't move as much, but they will move around, and eventually you will find them. I can guarantee that much, especially a big snake like Reggie. Where I think he was I think he went up in these rafters, and we actually had to tear open all the ceiling to look. But I think that because all of those tarantula enclosures, and excuse my room, it's really messy because we were looking for them, but those enclosures were right there where that empty tank is sitting, and all those were knocked on the floor. Luckily all the tarantulas were fine, so I'm thinking he went up there and then climbed up there. I eventually found him in the corner sitting on one of those aquariums. But yeah, so really the one thing you have to do is just be patient and keep looking, because eventually your reptiles will turn up. Even if it's months at a time, you'll eventually find them. And there's really no solution for doing that. Like what my parents did while I was gone is they got a rat, they put it in there, and they left a thing of water down there, hoping that it would entice him to come out. And I guess that can sometimes work, maybe. A lot of people try and set up like basking spots, but for the most part you just have to keep looking and hope that they come out. I mean, I've heard stories of people losing their boas for months, like 9 months, almost a year, and then finding them in more or less perfect condition. So you really just have to not be too hard on yourself and just keep looking is really the only advice I can give you guys. Like when I lost him, I was super depressed because he's a rescue. I got him because I thought I could give him a good home, and when he escaped and I didn't know if I was going to find him, I felt like I failed him. But Luckily, we did find him. He's really dark right now. I think he's about to shed, which actually reminds me, the people who had him before me, when they had him, he escaped a lot because their enclosure wasn't very good, and he would go up in the rafters, and they would find his sheds all the time in the rafters. But he's doing well now. I actually fed him, and I have a feeding blooper to share with you guys. It's a really funny video that I'll probably upload later. But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And thankfully, our boy Reggie's back here because he's an awesome snake. He is dark, like I said, right now. He's definitely going to go into a shed soon, but just an amazing snake, and I love him a lot. And you'll probably be seeing him here in Alcatraz, this enclosure, for a while. I know it's not the perfect size for him, although, like I said, it's not as bad as I thought initially. He fits in it. It's not like I'm cramming into a little box, but I'd like something bigger. So what I think I'm going to end up doing is keeping him in there, and then getting rid of that ghetto cage right there and moving all that crap back where it was and putting my tegu in the boa master. So I think that's sort of my plan of action there. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.